Hello, welcome to my channel. I hope that you are having a wonderful day today and I hope that you're being kind to yourselves. Today we are working on my save file and I decided to do a bit of a random build, okay? So basically I really wanted to introduce I keep wanting to call it a nursery. I was about to call it a nursery again. An orphanage. Guys, I don't know. This commentary might be a little bit weird. I'm sorry. I really wanted to introduce an orphanage into my save file. And I did think I was going to do it in Newcrest, but I decided actually, when I found this picture of it, and it's such a quaint village sort of vibe, I thought it fitted perfectly up here on one of the lots on the kind of wealthiest neighbourhood in Willow Creek, where there's just the two lots up there. I think this is the Spencer Kim Lewis thing, that family's lot, I'm pretty sure. And I thought it just fitted perfectly up here because it is that very quaint, remote sort of building. And I actually found inspiration when I was just looking up different images on Pinterest and stuff. That's kind of how I find a lot of inspiration, is just I have a little look and I usually find a particular feature about a build that I like, and then my imagination just kind of runs wild from that feature, and then I fit her around and we get somewhere with something. But yeah, I found an old orphanage that's actually, it's really weird that I found it on Pinterest, because I just typed in old orphanages, but this one is actually a half an hour drive from me, which is really weird. But yeah, it's not an orphanage anymore, but still. I loved the way it looked with the little clock tower, and it had kind of a little chapel attached on the left. At least that's what it looks like from the outside. I didn't get any pictures of the interior though, but I just loved how cute it looked. It looked kind of cozy, but it also did look like it was a decent size. And I have a story and I have a family to go along with this build that I'll tell you while we're watching this too. But you'll see how the chapel looks quite fancy and the rest of the orphanage just looks a bit rubbish. And then they've got the one fancy bedroom that is the owner of the orphanage. I don't know what you call them. The people who run the orphanage. I don't know. But their bedroom. And her name is Mrs. Stewart. And the story I gave her was this orphanage, this building was left to her from a distant relative when they passed away. And she at first was like, well, what am I supposed to do with this mess of a building? Because basically, she really wants to live the lap of luxury, she wants the best life possible. She wants all the best things, lots of money, splash the cash, here, there, and everywhere. And when she was left this, it was just no, why? Ew, I don't want that. But then, I don't know how it is in other countries, how things work, but in the UK, if you're a single parent, or if you have lots of kids, or if you foster kids, you get a lot of financial support from the government. So I was kind of playing this into the kind of story I had for her, that maybe because she wanted to have this rich, wealthy lifestyle, or maybe not rich, but she wanted to have lots of money, and she had this building, and a way of doing that was she just opened up this kind of orphanage thing. I don't know, fostering orphanage kind of deal, where she has all these kids because she gets paid to have them, and it's not because she actually cares about them, which is really sad. But that's the kind of story I went with. And I guess it's kind of stereotypical, isn't it, though, that you have this mean lady that runs the orphanage. But yeah, we're going with it. We're embracing it, alright, guys? So yes, that's Mrs. Stewart. She is a cranky, mean, nasty lady, pretty much. And she just wants money and pretty things, and she doesn't care about the kids. So that's her, and she's an adult. And then we have 6 children. Now, I've deliberately left one slot available in this house because I thought it'd be quite a fun story if you maybe wanted to introduce another child, a new child to it, and see how that plays out, maybe, possibly, who knows? That's an option. Or maybe there's some other worker or something. Maybe there's a nice worker. In Matilda, when there's that, I don't even remember any of their names, but there's the mean lady and then there's the nice lady. Maybe you can move in a nice lady. That's so bad. I don't know why I can't remember their names, but oh well. Anyway, so the oldest kid here is... Well, actually, I'll talk about the chapel while we're working on it right now. First of all, if you haven't watched any of my other save file episodes, Willow Creek is base game, so I was left with limited options doing this, so be nice, okay? I had no idea what to put in this chapel. I've never furnished a room like that before, so it was an experiment. But the way I kind of did it was I thought that room is like the one that looks nice because that's where the visitors go. They don't get to go into the rest of the orphanage. That's where they go, and that's like for show that it's a nice orphanage, and then like the rest of the place is not so nice and it's not so like cozy and homely and like welcoming and loving. But she gives off this false atmosphere by taking them in there and being like, oh, this is the lovely space where we have like choir practice and all that sort of stuff, you know? So that's the way I furnished it. And then this room is the office, which is like people only come in here if they're like, I don't know, I was going to say buying children. Oh, that's so bad. No, not if they're buying children. If they're coming to foster the child or adopt them, I don't know what the deal is, but they come in there to sign the paperwork. I can't believe I was going to say that. Oh my gosh, I don't know where my mind's at right now. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the oldest child is Lily, and she's a teenager. She is like such a sweet, hardworking girl. She has a job, a part-time job, because she wants to be able to buy like toys and like little like treat the other kids, because she takes on the job of being like the mother of this family, because obviously Mrs. Stewart isn't very nice to them, and I guess she really empathizes and sympathizes with these other kids, and she wants to give them a good life. And what she really wants to do is be able to save up enough money so that when she comes of age, she can take all the kids and they can move out and have a better life away from the orphanage. So that's what she wants to do. And then we have Edward, who is also a teenager, and he also works a job and does buy like toys and things like that for the kids, but he also treats himself a little bit, whereas Lily, she doesn't really treat herself to anything. She just focuses on like making sure that other kids have a good life. And I think that is so sad that she's been forced to do this. Like, I know like blood family is not everything. Like, I also believe like your family is who you pick. It's not just who you're related to, but I think it's such a shame that she has in a way been forced into being a mum at such a young age. But at the same time, like, it means she has this loving family, which is really nice as well, because she could have been alone. But yeah, anyway, so Lily is very selfless, like extremely, to the point that it is really sad. And then Edward, he still helps Lily out a lot. He's a little bit younger than her, but you know, he still wants to be able to treat him to little things when he works hard for his money. But both of them have the joint goal of being able to move out and take the rest of the kids with them. And then we have Maya and Leah. They are children and they are twins. So they're the only blood related kids in this orphanage, and they share a room. And they're both just really creative souls. But the problem is Mrs. Stewart, she doesn't like to promote creativity or anything like that. She doesn't like them to have any toys or anything around any of the rooms except their bedrooms and in that common area you just saw me do. They're the only spaces that are allowed to basically have any form of like showing that children live here. So, they don't get a lot of options to be creative, which I think is a shame, But they are like the little bubbles of positivity in this household. They are really sweet and energetic little kids, and they always cheer the others up. And then we have Jay, who's a little toddler. This is actually Jay's room here just now. And you can see all the little items that Lily and Edward have bought for her just to make her room that little bit nicer. And I think it's so heartbreaking if you really think about it. Like, poor Lily, feeling like she really needs to go out of her way to make sure that Jay, a little toddler who doesn't understand the situation, feels like she can have like a nice room with toys and stuff. That's heartbreaking. Anyway, yeah. That's Edward's room you just saw me do there. Who's the other teen. And then the last kid we have is Tom. He's a child, and he is a little prankster. He loves going around and like just messing with random things or like joking about stuff, and he loves winding Mrs. Stewart up something chronic. Oh my. He just loves being silly and stuff, but I guess he doesn't realise that it all kind of comes back on Lily because she takes the brunt of it, which I think is, again, a shame. Lily is totally suffering like herself. She's really sad. and my heart goes out to her. Poor thing. I really hope that if you play this family, they can escape this pain, or like maybe someone but then someone would have to foster all of them, otherwise they're going to get separated. Oh, I don't know. But I think that there's lots of really fun stories. Like, I now want to play with this family and see what happens. But this room here is Mrs. Stewart's room. So like I say, she is in it for the money. So her room is quite luxurious. She has like fancy dressers and lots of like decor items. She has this lovely big room. She has like a little living room TV area and her own computing area and stuff like that. Like, you can see she's definitely spending the money on herself and not really on the kids, which is so heartbreaking. And actually outside, we're about to get to the outside stuff, but I thought I'd talk about it because I decided to include a pond, because basically what I do when I'm starting a build, I don't use a lot of debug, right? Because I find debug, the catalogue, so difficult to use. Like, I struggle so much with it, so it puts me off using it because I can't scroll through it properly. But usually what I do when I start a build is I kind of go through debug, especially if it's base game, because I rely a lot on debug with trying to add details. And I'll pick out random items that I think I want to use. And then I had this bridge, which I used before, but I just love it. I think it's such a great feature. So I put that down and I decided to put a pond. And here I am going through debug, just picking out loads of like grasses and different things like that. And I was trying to do it in a different way. Normally I use like logs or rocks to kind of line it, but I thought I would try out just using like leaves and like ground cover stuff. And I think that it worked out pretty well. But the problem I had was I went to change the watercolour and I forgot you can't do the murky watercolour because I think it comes with Jungle Adventure. And because this is only base game, I couldn't do it, so I was stuck. So I decided to do what I'm doing right now. I like size up these like ground cover plants and raise them kind of to the surface, so it just gives it like a marshy kind of look. Don't know. It looks fine. From a distance they kind of disappear. You can see it's gone like weird, but when you zoom in you can see them and it looks pretty effective, I think, actually. And then round here I just do a little tucked away bit that maybe this is where Lily comes and she just relaxes, does some gardening, you know. The kids kind of hide round here out of sight from Mrs. Stewart, which I think is a nice little relaxing area for them. But that's the build basically done. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you want to play with this family and give these poor kids a good life. Thank you so much for watching. I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye bye.